Karl-Anthony Towns just turned 24, which means he's entering the prime of his career. And so the big question is, can the Wolves' fifth-year center be an MVP-level player? Is he that transcendent on offense? If you didn't realize how ridiculously skilled Towns is as an offensive player, buckle in. Let's start with his postgame, which is as efficient as Joel Embiid's according to Second Spectrum. He'll back down defenders for a hook shot with either hand. Then when he sets that up enough, he'll come back and throw an up and under at you. Of course, he has a spin move that's slippery enough to shake guards, and he can face the basket and give you the full business as well. This is the challenge with Cat. If you put slower bigs on him, he can blow right by them, but he'll also go right through softer or smaller defenders down on the block. The lumbering LaMarcus Aldridge is guarding him here, so Cat runs off perimeter screens and loses him the way a wing player would. But none of this is even the best part of his game. That would be his three-point shooting. Not just catch-and-shoot triples, but ones on the move. He comes off this screen like a guard, and he has a step-back three that's so deadly it should be banned in some states. Seriously, he just flicks this right in Embiid's face. Here's a design play for Towns to flare off screens like he's some oversized Steph Curry. Note the quick release, and that is money. Add it all up, and Karl-Anthony Towns is the greatest three-point shooting center in NBA history. Here are the best three-point shooting seasons from centers with high volume on the right. Only a few players are in Towns' neighborhood, and none of them were shooting step-back threes off the dribble. What we're witnessing right now is unprecedented. There was a game this season where Towns stretched Rudy Gobert to the breaking point, coming off screens from guards, flaring and popping all game en route to 7 made threes on 15 attempts. Gobert, the game's best paint protector, is not designed to chase a shooting machine 25 feet from the hoop, and so finally, Utah waved the white flag, and Rudy was switched on to Josh Okogie as the Wolves stormed to victory. But this Cat's not a one-trick pony. He can pass, too. Here's a nice read on a tight back door, great play by Ben Simmons, and Towns is quite good at these passes from up top, finding cutters. He won't try every tight one like Nikola Jokic, so he misses some of these from time to time. Although that's still a nice setup off a double team. With his back to the basket, he misses this advanced pass, but again, the alternative here isn't bad. And Towns does have this advanced over-the-head hook filthiness. Minnesota often sends two cutters into the gaps like this, and Cat has the ability to find the right one, even when he's on the move. This was likely going baseline at first until the defender commits, and so Towns audibles to the middle, and it's a great read. There is some fluidity to his passing beyond just post reads. That's a center, ladies and gentlemen, with a no-look off the dribble in transition. And his good vision and accurate deliveries have him 4th in passer rating among big men. He sees this one and puts a little English on the ball to boot. On defense, the Wolves usually place Towns in deep drops against pick and roll, which is fitting given his lack of agility on the perimeter, but he's not great in these spots. He likes to swipe at the ball while backpedaling, which doesn't offer much friction on short mid-rangers. This swipe move rarely pays off, and you can see his agility issues on this and one here. DeRozan's hesitation buckles him briefly, and he instinctively reaches out for a foul. Changing directions is a problem in general for Towns. Look at how he moves here, hopping slowly on one foot, then taking a beat to recover, so he's not in a good position to contest and remains floor-bound. On this play, he's casually jogging back, and his lunge at an interior pass throws him off balance, and again, it takes a beat for him to recover and step up to the circle, almost like his controller got stuck. He does lack sturdiness at times. He doesn't always body up big men, and here offers little resistance boxing out or on the putback. And he has these little hops that raise his center of gravity and turn him into a wobbly statue. This looks like a chicken wing at full speed, but it's mostly Towns being moved well in the air. Cat is always hopping or biting on up fakes like this, and that's an exploitable habit. Oops. Back to that pick and roll drop, it's designed to work for a slower footed big man, keeping threats in front of you and contesting in the paint. When he's in position and mostly stays on his feet, he can use his length very well, here completely erasing Mitchell. And when attacks are straightforward like this, Towns is a pretty good rim protector. Unidirectional drive, no up fake, and he's on it. Against Luka here, he comes out closer to the screen, and Towns' 7'3" wingspan probably saves a dunk. This is Cat's strength as a defender, sitting on shots in the paint and bothering them with his long arms. It's a noisy stat, but Towns has been in the top 40 in field goal percentage difference against around the hoop in the last 2 seasons. However, Cat is often reluctant to venture up to the level of the screen, and that makes him vulnerable to teams with good pull-up shooters. The Clippers just roasted this pick and roll all game. And with Towns recently sidelined by injury, the slightly rangier Gorgui Dieng has been an upgrade on these. And there is something to Minnesota being a better defensive unit without Towns. Here, Dieng sniffs out this off-ball action, but Towns rarely ever makes such reads. Take this play for instance, he doesn't see the cutter, then loads up for his bunny hop block, and that twirls him right out of the play. Or there's this out of bounds play, where he doesn't really recognize a slip in for a layup, and he's just often beat behind actions like this. Here's a telegraphed slip, and Towns is slow to recognize it, despite seemingly staring in the direction of the play. He's not great at the little things either, like why is he so tight to the ball here? There's that quick bunny hop again. Watch his footwork on this one. He closes his hips to the ball, which puts him in recovery mode, and the result is a mistimed jump and a clean look for Anthony Davis. And sometimes this sloppy footwork is a major issue. This looks like a fencing move, and it leads to free throws. Cat doesn't have to move as much and think in the post, and as a result, his defense on the block is also good. He can still be a little light on his feet, Embiid just manhandles him here, but he holds his own against powerful players, and ironically, he's much better about balance and staying on the floor while bothering post releases. Towns is 10th among bigs in defensive efficiency in the post over the last 3 years, according to Synergy. The impact metrics are actually divided on his defense. Raptor views him as a solid positive, while PIPM has him as a slight negative. In both cases, it's enough for him to look like a top 10 player with that incredible offensive impact. For my money, he's closer to a neutral impact defender. I can see an argument that he's even a slight negative in playoff situations, and that prevents Towns from reaching real MVP heights to me. I also don't think it will be easy for him to improve on defense in the near future, given his habits and footwork. But his offensive game, with really good playmaking, incredible scoring and spacing, is so spectacular that he's not that far away from low MVP levels. And in 2020, I see Karl-Anthony Towns as a strong all-NBA level player. The latest Thinking Basketball podcast is with Miami's Shane Battier on how players have used data over the years as part of their scouting and game prep. Links in the description below. If you want to support this channel, head over to patreon.com/thinkingbasketball for access to articles, proprietary stats, a discussion server, and more. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end, and of course, I hope you are having a great day.